Welcome back, everybody, to Total Nonstop Impact Talk for Impact fans, right here on the YouTube and the Twitch and wherever you get your podcast audio worldwide, baby. To my left, your right, Mr. Front Row Bill on location in the house. What is up, brother?
Good stuff, J-Bone. Made my way down the good old hot and humid Florida. So in the outskirts, not in Tampa proper, about a little over an hour away or so. No, everything went smoothly, and that's all you can ask when traveling. So looking forward to some a month of television coming up this weekend, J-Bone.
There we go. Yeah.
But yeah, I'll tell you, I didn't even have time to look forward because we had a bunch of the TNI fam giving us support before the show even started. We had Punk with a couple super chats here. Came and say hi to the TNI crew and fam. Whoever going to Tampa tapings, have a great time at them. I'm not going to be attending them because he is a Florida guy, so sadly, no Punk at the show. But then a second time, I'll be at the NXT House Show in St. Pete next Saturday instead. Oh, by the way, belated Feliz Cumpleaños to Wildman Bill. Thank you. Thank you very much, Punk. And who knows? He's been showing up on house shows. Maybe Joe Hendry will be there. And he gave we can talk about that maybe in the news section. The Joe Hendry, maybe almost dual contract in a way that's being kind of advertised. So, but then also just before we went live here, we can't forget the one and only Bell's Boy with the big $50 super chat here. Happy belated B-Day, Bill. Thought I'd leave this tip. Haven't done this in a while. So Mark Henry's son Jacob announces he signed to WWE. Mercedes Moné announces she's divorced. Logan Paul's still a D-bag. And Ali is going from TNA. Adios. All the hits from Bell's Boy.
That is a mouthful. My goodness. Quite the broad spectrum there. Thank you so much, guys. Really
Thanks,
appreciate it.
Obviously, to our members. I see a bunch of them in the chat. Terrence, Mayor, Justin. We got all the fam out there in the chat.
Wonderful. Yeah, and if you want to find out how you can become a member, go to the front page of the YouTube channel.
Don't forget Punk.
Yeah. And speaking of Twitch support as well, just a quick note on that other podcast that I help do is the Ramblers Unleashed also has a brand new Twitch. So starting, Saturday night for SummerSlam, we'll be reviewing SummerSlam live post there. So you can find us on YouTube and Twitch. So if you're more of a Twitch person or you just want to help show support, give it a follow, it's all love. It's all appreciated. So
there you go.
Well, thanks, guys. You know what we do when we first get in here? Smash that like button, smash that sub button, ring that bell for notifications. So, so much happening in the world of wrestling. In fact, we got news right up until the last minute before we went live here. So
are you saying it's time for some news?
I think so, brother. Let's talk some news.
Jiminy Christmas.
And now, the one and only TNI exclusive trademark of TNI.
Searching for my fake wrestling news.
Oh man. So yeah, we got some news right off the bat here. from one Mustafa Ali. The people are already talking about it in the chat. Now, he's still on the roster page. Of course, you got to check the roster page. We wouldn't be TNA fans if we didn't check the roster page now, would we? Right?
There's just a guy there in Nashville going, click, click, delete, delete.
Oh, that's another guy. Matt Hardy's running the roster page. Oh, dear God. Now what? So, yeah, let's talk about Mustafa Ali. And by all means, as I'm going through this, and I'm going to put this up here, too, do a little share screener Rooney. Because it wouldn't be proper without that. There we go. Look at that letterhead. My goodness.
Wow,
does that look
beautiful?
Professional or what? August 1st, 2024, my fellow citizens of TNA. This, you know what this is sounding like already. Over the past 6 months, we have made great progress as a company. Today, TNA has the strongest fan base in the world. We've made historic investments in rebuilding our X division, in lowering the number of senior citizens on our roster, Jiminy Christmas, and in expanding affordable tickets to a record number of fans worldwide. We've provided critically needed entertainment to millions past the first. I gotta get new glasses. Past the first limits rule for the X Division in 22 years. Featured the X Division Championship on the cover of Pro Wrestling Illustrated for the first time since 2006. That's actually really freaking cool. Appointed the first Pakistani Indian American as champion. Speaking of himself there, main evented, recording, breaking attendance shows. TNA has never been better positioned to lead than we are today. I know none of this could have been done without you, the citizens of TNA. Together, we've overcome. I can see him behind the stand right now, just expressing himself. Overcome unfit and unfair leaders. We've protected and preserved our X division, and we've revitalized and strengthened our alliances with promotions all around the world. God damn, I hate politics, but this is good. It has been the greatest honor of my life to serve as your X Division champion. And while it has been my intention to seek re-election, I believe it is in best interest of my party and the X Division for me to stand down and focus solely on fulfilling my independent obligations for the remainder of my term. I will not speak to the nation later this week in more detail about my decision. I will not speak. Okay. For now, let me express my deepest gratitude to all who have worked so hard to see me reelected. I want to thank Campaign Singh for being an extraordinary campaign manager in all this work. And let me express my heartfelt appreciation to the citizens of TNA for the faith and trust you have placed in me. I believe today what I have always have. There's nothing better than TNA can't do when we do it together. We just have to remember we are TNA Mustafa Ali. Wow. What a letter.
Top.
What do you think? What do you think, Bill? That's a mouthful, hey?
Yeah, no, it's Bell's boy there, kind of making obviously a lot of the ribbing off the current political landscape.
Absolutely.
And not re-seeking election. So kind of playing it up that way. But no, I think that was a well done way of. It'll be interesting to see, if TNA embraces that and almost comments on it on next week's episode, like that he stepped down, but he is not making any. This is all you're getting is this letter, and make a big deal about the letter, maybe.
Yeah.
But no, I thought it was handled very well. And I know he's talking about independent. I know the chat's pretty much saying all AEW, because obviously he came from WWE, so would be the plan. We'll see, because he didn't close the door. It's just, I think he had a 6-month agreement that's now expired. So he's going to be focused on independence, because remember, I gave him total credit because he didn't miss any loop. He was there every show. Which
he did.
That's all I ask if you're going to be the champion. So now that he doesn't have that commitment, he won't be at every loop, obviously. But I don't think that. I'm sure it'll be all. It all depends, because we know even if ratings aren't good, there's a company that's willing to give money to people to barely use them. But then maybe working the NXT relationship, maybe he does decide to go back in a WWE capacity, because we know he was high up on certain people's radars, but not others over there. But after this stretch, maybe that has changed. So it wouldn't shock me if he maybe went back in more of a capacity there as well. So we'll see. Okay. But it was definitely a great run. I have a feeling we'll see him again.
Yeah. Yeah, I have no doubt. I mean, he really had a great. I mean, even though he was like one of the biggest heels in the company with all of his, minions, his men in black, his whatever you want to call them, Secret Service men.
A lot of local talent will no longer be getting pushes on TV without him.
Yeah. He really. He lit a fire underneath the X division, and it was great seeing him on this level, because I mean, he had so many starts and stops in WWE, failed storylines, failed stables, so this is like the most success that he's had in a run in years. It was just so refreshing to see, whether you loved him or hate him, he blew the roof off the place whenever he hit that ring,
Oh yeah.
Charisma.
Super over. Obviously he was a heel pretty much his whole run, but yet he was an over heel in a lot of markets. Because obviously recognition and things like that. So he couldn't help but get the fans on his side.
Oh, yeah.
So he should do well. Once again, maybe he will, because hey, look at it. How long ago was the Motor City Machine Guns? And they're still not confirmed anywhere. Heavily rumored, but sometimes these things don't happen that quick. So he may just want to take a break from the schedule that has gotten busier for TNA. TNA obviously doesn't have that crazy grind to it, but it is more than it used to be. Wouldn't shock me. As we approach Bound for Glory, maybe a return then, but definitely not part of. And it makes sense, because as opposed to he was so heavily involved in television programming.
Yeah.
Now here's the whole thing. When you don't have the belt, how do you treat that character? Do you back burner them in a way? Maybe it's better for him not to even this is a good exit, and then he can come back in an angle. And we'll get into the X division does have an angle coming up very soon that was announced tonight, which is also part of the news. The return of the Ultimate X at Emergence.
Oh yeah.
So
that got announced too. Yeah.
Transition from the X division to the X division again.
Ultimate X. Yeah. So for those that were asking, Emergence tickets for, where is it again? Louisville,
Kentucky.
Yeah, Kentucky. Yeah, Louisville, Kentucky. August 30th and August 31st are the tapings. Emergence, and then the day of tapings. Those go on sale tomorrow. So for those in the area or those traveling abroad, now you know those will be going on sale tomorrow. So keep an eye out for that.
Well, actually, those are already on sale, J-Bone. You're confusing it with Victory Road.
Oh, well, because I thought people were asking.
In San Antonio. That was supposed to be the Cleveland tapings in September.
Okay.
So those are going on sale in San Antonio tomorrow.
I knew that. I was just testing you. Yeah. So September. So yeah, 2 weeks later. Those tickets go on sale tomorrow. Okay.
Because that was the Cleveland move to the new one. So it wasn't part of that mega on sale they did right after Slammiversary. It was originally supposed to be, but it got pushed.
Okay, yeah, and the Victory Road is at Boeing Center at Techport in San Antonio, Texas. Any clue how big that place is? I'm just curious.
It's big.
Oh, really?
Like, I think it's like Montreal size big.
Oh, well, hey, Texas loves their
I doubt it would be set up for that, although there is a seating chart and all, but you never know with GAs and like hard cam or not. So we'll see. Like, obviously, if they get early buzz on it, maybe throw something specific, like how they're doing for Emergence, Ultimate X, if they give maybe like a gimmick match. Up to 3K. So it's a pretty big venue, like much different than where they were running in Cleveland.
It's great to see.
Which could be, still seems like the most obvious reasoning. I know a lot of people want to know why that happened. Because like I said, like with Nic Nemeth, Cleveland guy is champion. But it's got to have to be to do with capacity / look of the venue for filming. I got to imagine it was a big part of it.
Well, and everyone's been asking so much about Bound for Glory. When are they announcing it? Have they announced it yet? And I said this during the live reaction again. I said, the further we get into the year, it almost feels like they're holding something back and they're going to announce something really big that wherever it is, whether it's on, United States soil, whether it's overseas, whatever. And I feel like it's going to be almost like a super show between.
Oh yeah, it's Bound for Glory. It's always a super show, but you're saying super show is involving other promotions. I think is what you're saying.
I think it is, and this is a perfect example of right here. I have no doubt something like this can happen. Keith Gallman here says, "I still say HBK showing up in Victory Road.
Boy.
That would be amazing. Him show up and be like." Can you picture HBK coming down to the ring, calling out who's Santino, Santino Marella. They're like, look, it's a HBK. It's Summoner God. What you doing here? And then lay out the open challenge. I bring my NXT crew. We'll meet you at such and such a place for Bound for Glory. And then he's like I don't think he's gonna wrestle by any means, but I could just absolutely picture HBK super kicking the shit out of Santino Marella.
Well, I could see him playing a part, but I already think I know a match for Victory Road to help sell that show, J-Bone. Yeah. Because there's been a little back and forth on Twitter lately. And I think we might see the return of the NXT champion, women's champion, Roxanne Perez, who is from south of San Antonio, Laredo, Texas. Maybe defend that title against Giselle Shaw at Victory Road, is my guess.
Oh, okay.
So get another crossover. And that's some more news we get on the show tonight is the Open Challenge or the Prohibited Portal with Jordan Grace's Knockouts champion, World Knockout Championship being defended next week. Right. we like I said, we know in Tampa, so that feels like obviously another NXT talent. And if I said it before, I'll say it again. I know people are probably going to try to jump to the Natalia one again, but I think Santino's daughter will be the one walking through this time.
Could be. I mean, I'll tell you what. The more I watch NXT, and I still don't know probably half the girls on that roster, but man, that girls roster is stacked. I mean, seriously, there is a ton of talent. Some newer than others, some that have been around for a while. But yeah, it could be anyone. You know, who knows? Gary Rossetti says,
I think that gets you into the news. Because Arman there, who says he's probably going to be attending tomorrow, did they announce any matches for next week, a.k.a. that'll take place tomorrow night at the tapings? And I know you did have some matches here.
Oh, yes.
That are advertised, including some meet and greets as well.
Yes. So I'm going to run down that real quick. It's pretty loaded for Tampa for tomorrow night and Saturday. So first of all, we'll cover Friday, August 2nd. Jordan Grace is going to have her open challenge. So we'll find that out tomorrow night at the tapings. We're also going to have Mike Santana versus Moose. And Mike Santana actually called out Moose tonight on the show. We'll get to that a little later. We're going to get a rematch here. Hammerstone versus Eric Young. I'm actually pretty stoked to see that. We are going to get the weighted rematch here. Kushida versus Jonathan Gresham. And Tasha Steelz versus Giselle Shaw. Some great knockouts action there. And then for the next night, Saturday, August 3rd, we got a few matches announced. We got Moose and JDC versus Matt and Jeff Hardy. Can't wait for that. Yeah. So
and obviously we know that's not tomorrow. That'll be Saturday because both of the Hardys will be in Cleveland for GCW and I guess WrestleCon tomorrow. Okay. All right. Let's see. We got Rosemary versus Alisha Edwards with Masha Slamovich in her corner. Excuse me. And then we just got some other random names here. Ash by Elegance, Steph Delander, ABC, Frankie Kazarian, Rhino, Joe Hendry, Zachary Wentz, and PCO, all going to be filling up for matches on August 2nd and August 3rd. And then for some meet and greets, post-show meet and greets on Friday, August 2nd, so tomorrow night, there's Joe Hendry, Nic Nemeth, world champ, and Ash by Elegance. That's going to be great. Post-show meet and greets for Saturday include... I wonder, since we're in Florida, will Dr. Finkelstein show up? Oh, Doctor. Oh, God. He might. Get away from Boca Raton for a few days. Yeah, you might want to check up on his patient. We'll see. Dear God. We got Mike Bailey, X Division champion.
Jordan Grace, Knockouts champion, and Matt and Jeff Hardy available for Saturday, August 3rd, post-show meet and greets. So,
oh yeah, anytime the Hardys are there together, they're doing a meet and greet.
Yeah,
given.
Very nice to see.
And hey, well, let's see. Well, we know the match now because I know I talked about it a couple weeks ago. I thought there was a chance they may leave the tapings as champions. Obviously, we know that match isn't booked. So,
right.
Could that be Emergence or later? Because I think that will happen. So it's just when, I think.
We'll see. It'd be nice, get another run. Maybe. We'll see. Let's see. What else are we talking about here? We went through that. We talked about Mustafa Ali. Was there anything else?
I think that's most of the news. I know everybody's already heavy into that news about the Ultimate X and wondering who it could be in that match.
Oh, yeah.
Because a lot of people are thinking maybe a return. Maybe some return names could show up.
That'd be cool. I'd be down for that. A little nostalgia here and there is good. Absolutely. Especially if they're up for it. I know Amazing Red has been killing it in his own neck of the woods. And was that HOG?
Yeah.
House of Glory.
And you know what? I did see this. Definitely a TN AJ Francis. Who has been a bright spot.
Yeah.
Love him or not love him as his character. But definitely wish him the best because to AJ, who had to put down his dog. But I know he did like a big social media thing where he took him out for like the best last day ever, which was a very cool type thing to do. But yeah, definitely a sad thing to have to put down a pet like that. That had a illness. So
yeah, that's tough. No matter who you are, that's tough. That hits you. Especially if you're a pet owner, you know what that's like. So yeah, our thoughts going out to AJ Francis. I think that's about it. I can't think of nothing else.
I think that's most of something else during the show. Anything that keeps on going off as we're doing the review, we'll hit on it. But we have a big show. The first show of August, J-Bone.
Yeah, this year just keeps cruising along. We got August 1st, TNA Impact. We're starting out hot here. We got now this was interesting. They said this on commentary that this first match here was kind of symbolic to the first match that was ever on TNA period. And that was the Flying Elvises versus three other guys. I'm sorry, I can't remember. If you remember the Flying Elvises, man, they were so fun to watch. They were so. The gimmick was crazy, but the wrestlers were legit, really legit. All right, so we got the Rascalz here, Wesley, Wentz, and Miguel versus KUSHIDA, Trent 7, and Bailey. And the
Rascalz have been on a heater lately, as you can go back and watch our news show from Tuesday, which has become a regular TNI exclusive, just talking about the TNA connection on NXT Tuesdays. But they've been having a heck of a run over there, and they're getting a tag title shot next week as part of the 2-part Great American Bash. But they're keeping that good fortune here in TNA as well with this opening win to start off the show.
Yeah. Yeah, with the hot fire flame. A lot of fun, a lot of back and forth action. Never boring, especially when you got, the Rascalz involved with guys like KUSHIDA and Bailey and Trent 7 tearing it up. Great stuff. X Division style match. But yeah, so it's great to see the Rascalz get so much love on this show, on TNA, and on NXT. They had a fun segment over there with the Treehouse.
Oh, I love that.
And it's like, oh my God, the Treehouse and NXT, which they had to, keep it all subliminal. You can't, it's not quite as liberal, I guess you could say, as how they do things on TNA. But still, if you know the Rascalz, you know what's going on. So it's all good. They cover up the camera, you know what's coming next. So, and yeah, Joe Hendry doing a concert on NXT, first time ever, and then leading to a beatdown from Gallus and Joe Coffey, and he's going to have a match next week versus Joe Coffey in part 2 of the Great American Bash. Man, Joe Hendry is just, he's killing.
Oh yeah, and you know what? That is the other piece of news, J-Bone, that you mentioned, Joe Hendry, because he did give an interview where he's kind of talking about the connection there with NXT and TNA, and just giving thanks to everybody for working with him, because he's pretty much admitted now that he's almost got like a dual contract now with both companies in a way, where like he's actually like he's in and out now of the Performance Center, like he's going to be doing both. Like that is like he's saying that's going forward. He's doing both. Like obviously we see it tonight. He's still going for that TNA title, no doubt. He's obviously very much a fixture here at TNA. He wants to be the face of the company, but he's also committed to NXT as well. So he is that cross brand. Like obviously with the Rascalz, I think we're going to see Jordan Grace obviously again. I think it's going to grow. But it's just interesting that like that's kind of more official that he's Performance Center NXT Joe as well.
Yeah. It's Vance in the chat. It's don't cry, man. It's okay to tear up though. Well, wait till we start talking about the wedding. Then I got my Kleenex ready. Okay. Yeah. I was tearing up first.
You're a name brand man. The Kleenex only for J-Bone.
Yeah. During the the Bone Man's a big softy, I may play a rough and tough podcaster on here, but I'm a big softy. Yeah. So yeah, great opening match. Jordan Grace then cutting a promo about how she's. We talked about this. She's going to be doing an open challenge next week. So in the chat, sound off. Who do you want to see show up in the TNA Impact Zone to face Jordan Grace on TV next week? We'll find out. And there's no wrong guesses. I mean, yeah, you kind of assume it's going to be someone from NXT, but could be,
they could go to total opposite.
Who knows? It could be some big up and coming independent from down in Florida. There's talent all over the place.
Or maybe not Florida. Maybe international. You never know. Anybody.
Oh, could be. What did I say in the live reaction? I was like, oh, wouldn't that be amazing if someone like Julia showed up? Because she's like officially part of WWE now, but she hasn't been seen yet. So what?
Or who knows? Stephanie Vacour.
Stephanie, yeah, she's officially part of WWE. She went on that the Mexican tour down there. Yeah.
I'm sure she'll be at the Performance Center. So these are options. Like they could get creative, no doubt.
Yeah, whoever it is.
We've got to be both sides of the coin here. Bell's boy. We'll see which NXT scrub.
Oh,
will face Jordynne Grace next Thursday.
But
I wouldn't refer to it as that, but this is I think the same thing that I've been saying about why Joe Hendry didn't win the championship. And everyone's like, oh, he's got to win the championship. Right. Just like Jordynne Grace is going to be your champion, it feels like, for at least a while longer. She can't be going through, like, you can have what happened with Roxanne. Like, you have kind of that one-off shenanigans, but you can't do that all the time. Like, you got to go through the middle to lower part of the roster with the occasional maybe upper tier. Like, you can't totally kill creative on the other side. That's the get you, the catch-22 with working with the other promotions. You got to make sure the booking is at least equal. And that's how you do it. Like, if they were just going head-to-head with the main eventers, then one side of that would not be happy, i.e. the AEW TNA relationship, because that's what wound up happening.
Yeah. Right. I mean, it's all talent. It's all positive exposure, win or lose. You know, that's what partnership is all about. You know, you're giving other people opportunities to go, you know, wrestle somewhere else. It's kind of like what they did with Evolve. Was that a few years ago? You know, same but different. You know.
That's a fair comparison.
Yeah. So, yeah, put it in the chat. Let us know who you think. You know, share your ideas.
I think people will be happy with Soul Rocket. Like, she seems to be getting a lot of buzz lately.
I wouldn't call Sol Ruka a scrub, but she is an amazing talent. I mean, her finish.
Yeah, I think she may have lost in some of their title, and I think that's what it is. Somebody that's maybe recently been in their title picture, but maybe wasn't successful. I think that is probably the sweet spot you could be looking at, or somebody that they're growing, they're building up. That isn't like in that title level yet, but is kind of on the come up.
That no one's doing a finisher like she is. It looks ridiculous. I don't know.
That footage of the overhead cam they had of that out to the outside, very, very creative.
It's like a backflip into a cutter. It's ridiculous. No one's doing anything like that. It's amazing. I mean, if she shows up and pulls that off on Jordynne, man, that's the shit that's going to end up on ESPN. Let me tell you. So, that's a highlight for you folks. All right, now long awaited. We finally get to see Rosemary back in the ring. This is versus, I'm guessing this is like a local talent, Kristara, and man, what did you? I mean, I thought the match was short and sweet. I wouldn't call it a squash match. It was short, but yeah. What do you think?
Just good to see Rosemary back. It feels like it's been a long time.
Yeah. Thank you, Mayor. Soul Snatcher. Yeah, absolutely. That's the finisher. But yeah, new look, new theme. What did you think of what?
New character,
all sorts. Yeah, really new stuff. What did you think of this new Rosemary coming down to the ring?
No, I liked it. We've been getting teases of it, and I know I was pushing for it, and I'll say the same for Alisha, who has the night off tonight. Been wanting that Rosemary solo run again, and I feel like it is time, like post-injury, and kind of the reinventing herself. So I'm here for it. Like I said, right now on the roster, she feels like the logical main contender to Jordynne. So maybe this character becomes even more heelish as we go forward, to be more menacing towards maybe Jordynne in some capacity. But we'll see, because obviously, if there is a Bound for Glory connection to go with somebody like we were talking, maybe the current NXT champion or somebody, or Natalia type person for a BFG, it feels like Rosemary would be the on the roster option at that point.
Absolutely. Just catching up on some chat here. Yeah. And just want to say thank you to Justin Miller here, member
6 months.
For 6 months.
OG member. OG.
Yes, OG is OG to the core. Yeah, says the E has confidence in those that have come over. It wouldn't look good for them if they sent over people that they didn't have confidence in them to put on a match. Right, exactly. Yeah. You're not going to send over someone so green that it's going to embarrass them and TNA / Jordan Grace. Right. You're going to send over someone that's going to put on a decent match, win or lose, and they're going to have, a good exhibition. So
yeah, in a couple of years, I think you're going to look back at the people that got used in this capacity and be like their top people on the main roster at that point.
Right.
Tatum Paxley and stuff like that. Like they're going to be featured players over there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
who knows?
Nuggets on the app.
Yeah, there you go. And hey, I'd love to see somewhere down the road. Nothing immediately because we just got a Tatum Paxley, but how about a Rosemary versus a Tatum Paxley? That'd be something. That'd be cool. I like that. But yeah, new look, new vibe for Rosemary. Now here's the thing: she finished up the match. She won. She was ready to keep. She was on top of her opponent, and she was ready to start striking her again. And the ref grabbed her arm and slowly raised it, like, "Hey, you won. Let's leave it be."
This could be the mean streak.
Yeah,
this could be maybe she'll take it too far one of these matches.
And I tell you, just the look on Rosemary's face, it was almost like an out-of-body experience. Like, oh, what am I doing? Oh, I won the match. Oh, okay. And
that's secondary. Winning the match, inflicting pain is number one.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, she's trying to get that identity back because she feels like, if you saw that, go watch that promo again from last week. She feels like she's lost everything. She has nothing left.
She has.
So, yeah, we can't assume what's going to go on with Rosemary right away. We just got to take this a week at a time and be like, hey, now what are they going to show us? Because it's going to be a lot of fun. We love Rosemary, and her evolution in this company has been nothing short of amazing and revolutionary for a Knockouts division, really, All right, so now I don't remember where this jumped in here, so I'm just gonna kind of like roll this all together into one because I missed something in my notes. But Campaign Singh.
Yeah, I think it was right before this match, but yes.
Okay, so Campaign Singh got the phone call while he was getting interviewed by Mean Gia Miller, and of course all the goons are in the background. He gets a call from Mustafa Ali about loyalty and gratitude and all this stuff, and like, what are you gonna do to prove yourself to me? So it's interesting that all this happened on the show tonight, and then we got what we got from Mustafa Ali in the letter, because it seems kind of like, whoa, this came out of nowhere. Like there's like still story to be told between Mustafa Ali and Campaign Singh, but maybe because of the loss tonight, which I know I'm jumping ahead here a little. Maybe that was like the period at the end of the sentence. I don't know, but we'll get to that in a second.
You thank this campaign manager.
Yeah, it's tough. It really is tough. It's we've seen a few campaign managers on TV. Boy, it is tough. I
Mustafa appreciates them.
Yeah, right. Hopefully he does. Yeah. Well, at least in the letter he did. Maybe not on TV, but later on, now this is interesting. Really interesting. Campaign Singh goes up to Mike Santana and challenges him, and he's like stuttering as he's trying to get him to have a match later. And Santana goes up to him, he gets close to him, he smells him, and he's like, "You smell." It's like, "You smell?" Like I don't know what he was gonna say. Well, I have an idea, but I was gonna try to say something cool like, "Oh, you can smell the fear in Campaign Singh." Knowing Mike Santana, though, he would have said something a little cruder, like "You smell like," fill in the blank. I don't know. We'll keep it PG here. You guys just use your imagination. We get a system promo talking about we're going to get a system reboot. They need to refocus, and they're going to wreak havoc on the roster. Maybe we'll see. I think the next few weeks are going to be really critical for this group, because if they're going to try to get back, like that Santana match with Moose, whenever that takes place, that's going to be one of the critical ones. Josh Alexander in a promo. His music is playing, like his entrance music is playing, but he's not coming out. All of a sudden it goes to some feed backstage where he's with Gia Miller, and he's talking about how he doesn't owe anyone anything, no explanation, nothing. And it's he's just really just dodging a bullet here. He's just kind of taking a, I hate to say it, but he's taking the chicken shit way out,
Whoa.
What do you think, Bill?
Yeah, he's it's interesting seeing how the heel turn of Josh is going and the way he's kind of going about his heel turn. Like it's not kind of your typical heel turn.
Right.
It's a little more nuanced in, like he's keeping it a lot more close to the vest on why he's turning like this. Like we know Joe Hendry got under his skin, but we really don't know more of the reasoning behind this. So I think as this comes out, is like, I almost wonder if they'll go in a semi-shoot mode with his heel turn and almost link it back to the contract and maybe even Scott D'Amore stuff. You almost wonder, are they gonna, like, how are they gonna, because it feels like they're holding back on this for some more of a reveal maybe on why he's really wants to go in this direction, why he's turning his back on people maybe. And I could see it being more like one of those worked shoot angles. And I think that'll be in for a pretty good payoff if they do it that way. Because right now, you're right. Like, he's coming off not the best in this light as of now.
Right.
Which can make you a heel. Like, obviously, there's been main event heels that have done similar gimmicks in the past.
Oh, sure. It's just so weird from someone, like he said, who's been who's
so heart and soul type guy. Yeah.
Right. The backbone of this company. Heart and soul, And you can put that label on not many guys in this company, And Josh is one of them. So then he just kind of exits, and then we go right into the next match here. Not missing a beat. We get entrance from Ryan Nemeth, and he is facing the
king.
The king of TNA, and don't you dare forget it, because he will stop the match and make you announce it.
Did he have whoppers with him?
Did he what?
Have whoppers?
He had something.
He's the bird.
Oh man. But yeah, Ryan.
Now, what were your thoughts, J-Bone? It feels like Ryan's coming off more and more heel as we see him.
Ryan Nemeth?
Yeah, I was getting heel vibes from him during this match. Now the crowd was obviously, they were more on Kaz's side during this match.
I think that's just old school love for
name recognition,
Kazarian.
Stuff like that.
Yeah,
TNA legend.
Kind of like you.
But a guy going total heel. And maybe that's just similar to the Joe Hendry and Jake something Philadelphia match, where someone just kind of became the heel due to the crowd reaction.
Ryan Nemeth is always, well, I shouldn't say always, but as long as I've known him from his AEW run till now, his gimmick really hasn't changed. He's still like the Hollywood hunk. It's a little Rick Rude-ish, but
it's more of a, just in general, that gimmick is more of a heel gimmick, I would say.
It is, but he's the champ's brother, and he's been there. He's been backing him up from day one.
He has. He has.
So I think if we ever see a true heel turn, he's going to turn on his brother, which I smelled that coming a while ago, but it didn't happen. I read that wrong. It was actually Kaz who attacked Nic Nemeth before Slammiversary. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, I feel like Ryan's he's a sassy Hollywood guy. He's just
he's sassy.
He's kind of full of himself, but he's a good dude. He backs his brother. We'll see.
He does back his brother.
Yeah. Kaz is still the king of TNA. Love Kaz. Love him or hate him. He's great. He gets the win here. Ryan Nemeth had what did I say in the live reaction? He had a rough day at the office. and he put the exclamation point on that at the end of that sentence, because who comes down to the ring after all this hubbub we were just talking about before? Oh, now Josh Alexander comes down to the ring. He passes Kaz on the entrance ramp. He gets in the ring, and he's kind of hemming and hawing, and he all of a sudden looks down at Ryan Nemeth and gives him the C4 spike. It's like, oh, well, why don't you just murder the guy? My God. Rest in peace, Ryan Nemeth.
Good afternoon, good evening, good night.
Ugly. The only thing that was missing from that was like Nic Nemeth running down and like helping his brother, which I got a feeling may be an issue in a future episode. Maybe. Okay. But we'll get back to that. But this was fun. I still look, whether you like Ryan Nemeth or not, this is the most he's been featured in the last handful of years.
Oh yeah. Honestly,
it's win or lose, seriously. So hey, good for him. You know, glad TNA's using him one way or another. We get the announcement we touched on this earlier, August 30th, Emergence. We are getting the return of the Ultimate X, where Speedball Mike Bailey will defend his X Division Championship. Very cool, very cool. Next match here, Jody Threat versus Masha Slamovich. What did you think of this?
This is interesting because we've been seeing these two teams feud now for quite a bit. previously with Lars, then some can they work together type issues. And obviously the militia definitely came out on top in the end. But now, obviously, this is a huge win for Jody over Masha. So it feels like is this going to be where we finally see Masha and Alisha? Although we saw earlier the segment about the system working, like reestablishing their dominance, but can they really do it? Because if Alisha loses her belt, what do they have? And then will that be the end? Well, that's the end of this working arrangement. So it feels that could be in jeopardy. It feels like the system right now is holding on by a thread, and this loss is could be detrimental to the system.
Yeah, and it really felt like Dani Luna was like really in her corner this time, taking care of Lish, trying to help with the interferences. Didn't always work out 100% the way she wanted it to, but more often than not. But ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, good evening, David Panzer. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for my favorite part of the show, Bill's Hotel Review. Take it away, Bill.
Well, this is a place I have been many times. This goes back to some of the old TNA Impact Zone days, because I am in the Orlando area, and it is very convenient. It is the monumental Movie Land Hotel on iDrive. Because there's a few iDrive hotels I've stayed at a lot over the years. I used to stay at some different parts, like near Universal, when I was coming to the tapings years ago, that I was trying out here and there. A lot of times be like, okay, what's the price on this one versus this one? And like how convenient it is. Because like my first time, I actually didn't even have, I didn't have a rental car, but then I noticed very quickly that was a must for these trips. So that expanded the territory a little bit. But even if I didn't, I could walk to the theme parks from where I'm at right now very easily. So that's a positive. Just very easy to get to stuff. Now, obviously for Tampa, which I have done before by staying here, it's not the most convenient, but it's because the main reason I extend this trip, because I usually don't extend my trips much. I keep it pretty tight to the wrestling shows for TNA, build in any travel, things like that. But for here, it's like, okay, if I expand
you're in there a day early now.
Yeah, if I expand it this way, and I have my season pass to Universal, it gives me a reason to kind of do that. Especially, it looks like they're probably only, we know the schedule. They're not going to be hitting Florida again this year. So when they go, I got to make sure to make it count. But that won't be my only time because I will be. But we'll see. I'll probably do the same thing because I'm going to be going to MLW as well. Their next time in Tampa in October. I almost went the last time, but it was too tight of a turnaround with some other commitments I had. But
okay.
So I'll get some more Florida in because this has been a slower Florida year for me than some of the years past. But no. But I give it, once again, simple at this point, more dated, but it has like a movie theme, and I'm a big movie guy. So, but once again, other than if we're doing a podcast while I'm on the road, I'm not in the hotel that much other than sleeping. I'm usually out and about most of the time, just like at home. So I need minimal essentials. I'm easy.
Nice.
I'm a cheap date.
So this place that you've stayed in at a few times over the years, it's stayed. Has it stayed a constant for you, or have there been ups and downs?
No, it's been pretty there. There's usually kind of two hotels I normally look at. At times, I think Dave, when he's traveled with me to Florida a few times, I think he's stayed here. So it's it's here, or the Floridian Express. I normally kind of go to those two because price versus what you get and convenience on everything, they're kind of the two that I look at the most. Because, like I said, once I kind of narrowed in on this area of iDrive as the most convenient, there's kind of a couple that stand out. Although I've probably tried 5 or 6 of the hotels around here over the years.
Okay.
Because I got to remember, there was a long time where I was coming here for these tapings about 4 or 5 times a year. So it became on the regular.
There you go. Yeah.
So there's just a convenience and a comfortableness factor to coming down to Florida. Like just knowing out of Philly, the flights to Orlando, much more convenient than like the Tampa, and then the rental cars pricing, once again, cheaper Orlando than Tampa. So it just becomes a thing where, and I don't mind driving. So like doing like an hour and 20-minute drive, hour and 15-minute drive there is not a big deal to me.
There you go. Making your way around Florida. All right.
Oh, yeah.
Well, thank you, David Penzer. Hopefully all is well with you. And I got a feeling David Penzer might want to look you up while you're down there. Maybe.
I will be around. I'll be I'll be there a bit before the show. I'm sure I'll stick around for a little while after. But yeah, just for the next day. There we go. So yeah, Penzer will be this weekend.
There
Looking
we go. Awesome.
It's been a while.
Awesome.
It's been quite a while.
Yeah. Eh? All right. Next, we got a nice little promo from Joe Hendry, just thanking the fans, just in general and abroad, for all the support that, because his rise to fame lately has been really fun to watch. It's been organic, like a grassroots movement, online, going, viral for the music, and then puts more eyes on the wrestling portion of it. It's just great to see, and it also, I think, helped a good portion of this NXT TNA relationship, So then he talked about having the first concert this last Tuesday at TNA, going to get attacked by Joe Coffey. Cheap plug for the match next week. Make sure you watch that on Sci-Fi for Tuesday night for NXT. You'll see Joe Coffey versus Joe Hendry. You'll see who is the true Scotsman. The bragging rights, I guess you could say. We'll see what happens there. So yeah, nice little promo. Next, we got Santana versus Campaign Singh. Santana coming in through the crowd. Man, it just feels like Santana's really on another level here. What'd you think about this, Bill?
No, this was very good. Obviously, like, we haven't seen Campaign Singh get too much of a, other than being with Ali, too much leash to kind of do some stuff on his own. But against Santana here, that was because obviously he's been at another level. Like, he's been one of the guys definitely bringing it, and you can kind of tell now. Like, you can see the wrestling, the internet wrestling community is starting to salivate over Mike Santana, seeing him lately, because all of a sudden when you start hearing these people, because all they do is just want new people sign because companies they follow don't keep their interest. So it's just like, sign this guy, this guy, this guy, and he's near the top of the list for everybody right now. Even though he just signed with TNA, but he's definitely on his game, and that it's going right in the Moose. I think's a great angle, which obviously, hey, if you're in the Tampa area, you'll be able to see that tomorrow. So definitely check it out. That should be a hell of a match right there.
Oh man, and if you listen to the promo and the heart and the passion and charisma of Santana after his win here against Campaign Singh, man, I have not seen Santana this fired up in a long time. He has been on point seriously on point since his return to TNA. He is laser focused, but he's aggressive, but he's staying humble at the same time because he's got these goals he's trying to mark off on his list.
Yeah, and it feels like the Florida crowd will be all over Santana. Like,
oh yeah,
he might be one of the most over people on the roster for these shows, I have a feeling. So it should be good. It should definitely be good. And I know a lot of people are now saying with Campaign Singh, with Ali leaving, what will his new name be? Will it be Camping Singh? Will he get a new gimmick? I almost wonder. This is my thought of what to do with Singh. Because if you just had, like, you're kind of taking real world, current political climate events with the Campaign Singh and Mustafa Ali angle, Conspiracy Singh, especially that Ali's gone. He's now Conspiracy Singh, and it was a conspiracy that Ali's no longer here. And he'll just be flat earthing.
Milk first.
He's going to go with all the stuff out there, like fake news. He's going to be fake news and everything. Maybe that's the angle for keeping with the C dynamic.
Oh man, paranormal stuff. Who knows? Yeah, but if it could be a number of things. I can't wait to see it. But I really want to see Campaign Singh like break out from this. Yeah, I feel like it's time for him to really. He's always been second.
Yes, critical thing. Does he come out with an actual tinfoil hat? Yes, do it. Embrace the gimmick. Singh. Yes. Like who's done that? Who's done a conspiracy gimmick? Come on.
Oh gosh, I can't think of
all the nuts. He's like, I'm here for the nuts.
Yeah. But yeah, Mike Santana cutting that promo and aiming at Moose. If Santana someday wants to become world champion, he has to go through guys like Moose. He has to defeat former champions one by one. And I got a feeling, do I think he's going to be the next champion? I don't know. It's hard to say because there's a few people lining up right now that are absolute contenders. You can't deny that. Mike's throwing his hat in. Josh Alexander's throwing his hat in. I know I'm skipping ahead here slightly, but we'll get to that. Joe Hendry's throwing his hat in there. So Nic Nemeth he's a walking target right now. I don't envy him. He's tough, but we're gonna find out sooner rather than later how tough he really is. But yeah, this new journey for Santana is something else. TNA World Title time. Nic Nemeth defending against Mustafa Ali. We've been talking about Mustafa Ali all night. This match, man, really something else. They beat the snot out of each other inside the ring, outside the ring. This is one of those matches that I wish I had a little more time. Maybe for like a pay-per-view purposes. More time. But obviously, this is a TV match. If you're watching on TNA Plus, you were lucky enough to see it without commercial breaks. So yeah, like once again, I don't plug in much, but TNA Plus, it's the way to go. Go sign up. But this was a lot of fun, and honestly, any other night, if say Nic Nemeth was champion longer, if this was like farther down the line and he'd already defended it a bunch of times, any other night, I think this absolutely could have been Mustafa Ali's night. You know,
could have been, and like, dude, because he hinted that maybe an option C at some point during that TNA X Division title run. So that he did get the world title match before he withdrew from re-election. I think it was a fair way to go out. Fine effort to go out right now. Although, like I said, I think we will see him again. But we'll see. Like, it's also does help Nick kind of start with a legit contender because he wants to be that fighting champion. So I assume we'll see him in a world title match in the next couple of weeks as well. A fighting champion can't make that comment and then go through a month of TV without another title defense. So,
right,
you know me, I'm keeping Nick on a short leash because he missed previously too many tapings for a world champion. So he's got to be that fighting champion now. So, and we'll see who that next opponent is going to be.
Yeah, I think we know who it's going to be. As far as the next title defense, I got a feeling if he has some matches between now and the end of the month on TV, it's going to be exhibitions. It's going to be ones that are the title may not be on the line, but there's going to be stuff just to keep him, busy, But Josh Alexander comes out at the end of this after Nic Nemeth gets a win. And he's standing at
that feels like the push to the next, like, Emergence. That feels like the Emergence match.
Right. Yeah, it really does. But there's a few people in line, but I got a feeling Josh is going to be the first one to step in front of the line here. But you were just mentioning option C, Bill. We got to remember who our X Division champion is right now.
Yeah,
Speedball Mike Bailey. And he is so fun to watch, but legit, he is one of the most badass guys on the roster. The stuff he does in the ring is unbelievable. Now this is a big difference as far as what's going on, but it just, it makes you like realize how legit tough he is. I saw there was a clip that went viral online a few days ago. He was at was it a Bloodsport?
Yeah,
for GCW.
Well, remember he did that no ring ropes match with Kenny King in TNA with a very similar vibe to it.
Yeah, and I don't know who he was facing. I'm sorry, I don't know who the other guy was, but he kicked him square in the face. Yeah, in the head. And TKO.
I felt it was on my hand. And they're he doesn't hold back. So
jeez.
You get caught with a Mike Bailey, you're gonna feel it.
Your boot or no boot, man. That's so yeah, that's another one that's I think is going to be quietly waiting in the wings for a while. But he's going to enjoy this X Division run as well. Now, the moment we've all been waiting for, Bill.
I love a wedding.
Oh my goodness, we have another wrestling wedding, Bill. We have the wedding of PCO and Steph DeLander in Montreal. This is I don't know where you put this in. You'd say, oh well, this wedding was my favorite. This wedding was my favorite. You can go all the way back to like the wedding of.
Never a bad wedding.
No, there's never a bad wedding, but there's ones that stand out more than others as far as, memory's sake and just what happened and such. Savage and Elizabeth always, stands out. There's been some fun TNA ones over the years. So first of all, we get Rhino.
What a best man.
Well, I got scared. I thought he was going to be the flower dude, start throwing flowers. I got scared. I was like, oh no, please no. But he's in his wrestling gear.
Or his tie?
Badass, but he's got a red tie on. He
got classy up for it.
He's absolutely classy.
He's a classy war machine.
Oh my God, he's the best war machine. The maid of honor, absolutely adorable. Zaya Brookside. I almost wrote down Zaya Lee. Zaya Brookside comes down, and she is just all.
Well, she's been invested in this. She's invested.
She has. She's been right by Steph DeLander's side through all of this, and she's all gothed out. So that was kind of fun to see because she's been so like perky and bright colors and So now she's black.
Was able to be a little different.
Makeup. Yeah, definitely different. Then we get the entrance of PCO. Well, we have to mention Santino Morella's out there. He is the I forget what he said during the
He was
ceremony.
ordained.
He is ordained, yeah. So he was legally able to do this, yeah. Which is just hilarious. PCO comes
you
down.
ordained, J-Bone. Start providing these services on the TNI review show.
Oh God, that would be
Do you, bone man, take bone lady?
I take
Be wedded in holy bone?
There's some like alternative universe where there's people just lining up waiting for this. I don't know. It's just crazy.
Yes, and Justin, yes, as he said, like the website he referenced is a real website. You can get ordained. Cheap plug. Cheap plug.
Yeah, it's like ordainme.com. It's something like that. It's you sign up, you get a piece of paper.
TNA, they're official over there. They don't mess around.
Yes. Yeah. So, but now here's
marriage is by J-Bone. Is that quicker or longer than Trent's guaranteed?
Oh man, that weighs heavy on me. I don't know. I don't know if I can handle that. Be like, oh, you're now you're now man and wife, and then find out down the road that they split up. It's like, oh, that would hurt. I don't know if I want that.
If you make it past the Ali threshold of 6 months, you did good.
There you go. That's
less than 6 months, your money back.
Yes.
We got a
slightly used
return policy.
Oh, now I'm not offering, what do you call that? Anyways. No, there's no refunds. No.
No refunds.
No refunds.
Your services are as is.
Yeah, that's it. You step to me in my order.
If you go to the bone, you could get the bone.
That's it. That sounds horrible. No, not that. Matchaboni. Anyways. Matchaboni. Awfully wedded Matchaboni. All right. They say their vows, and Steph Delanders are from the heart. It's sweet. It's honest. It's a little kooky, but you know, she said her stuff, and then PCO just grabs the mic and goes, like what? Are we? My wife just walked past me like, the fuck?
That should be every wedding. Keep it simple.
Marriage is my table. When you're here, you're family. Yes, and you know, and if I get you guys married and say instead of kissing the bride, you both may now. Really? Mrs. J Bone says, I wish somebody would have done that for us. Oh my God, this is turned upside down. So they say their vows, and it's like, oh, you may now, oh, because where they are in Montreal, it's, you know, French Canada.
Oh, we can't forget Destro.
Said, oh yeah, Destro locked down SDF. Yeah. He was all, you know, death goughed out too. It was great. So Santino announces, you may now French kiss the bride. And it's like, oh, geez, here we go. So PCO and Steph Delander are winding up. They're just inches away, and the lights go out, and it's like, what could this is such a wonderful occasion. What could possibly go on? Who would want to wreck this? Oh, first of all, I can't.
Well, you can't forget.
I can't forget
PCO's grandmother's ring.
Oh, yeah, there was that too. Yes, yeah. The grandmother's ring. And I think Tom Hannafin said, oh, Jesus, it's a finger. He said something like that. He freaked out.
It was funny since Beetlejuice. It's still funny.
Still funny. So he takes the ring off the dead grandma's finger, and it's just a finger. It's just, you know, gray looking.
Just a digit.
Just a digit. Takes the ring off of that and puts it on stuff. Oh my God, what a moment. And I still don't know what the hell that big ring was that she put on PCO. And like, is that like a spark plug or something that was like
could be.
I don't know.
There you go. It's like the
I'm thinking of something that would, like, you know, help with the electricity. And although that was cute, that was part of the vows. I said, I'll even forgive you when the electricity bill goes up. That was I popped for that. That I popped for that. But yeah, so AJ Francis and his crew comes out, and he's like, hey, we're not here to stop anything. We're not here to boo anything. We are here to just loyally support you. Continue. And then, and I'll pronounce you man and wife. They're married. Okay, now kiss. And the lights go out. John Paul, Jiminy Christmas. John Palmer says Rhino stuck the finger in his trunks. Jiminy. Hey,
Uncle Rhino was taking care of Grandma right there.
If you want to call it that, yeah. I'm gonna have to play this one back. So little key details like that are so.
Get the replay.
Yeah. Like, he did what? Oh my God. But yeah, so Matt Cardona comes out, ruins the moment. But the thing is, they're already married. So yeah, he crashed it but he didn't really stop anything.
Too late. Mid
Too little,
card
too
over.
late. He throws the giant wedding arch. He brings that down on top of Santino and PCO, and so they're down and out. And Steph is just screaming. She's pissed off, and she's going off on Matt Cardona. Like, this was my day. This is my wedding. How could you do this to me? And Matt's like, "Oh shit, I'm out of here." And he's hightailing it up the ramp. And he's like, "You were with me." It's like, we were together. And it's like, "No, wait a minute. I'm like, okay,
so
this is
he was coming after that digital media title of PCOs as well.
Yeah. And it's just like, okay, so this is an alternate universe because he's actually married to Chelsea Green, from another country and another WWE universe.
But then
somewhere.
in the Indies, he was teamed up with SDL.
Right. But they were never like he was just trying to put her over because she
was like his valet. She was his
right. But she never cheesed it up with him like Liv Morgan and Dom.
No, not to that.
No, they were just a team. So, so there's no.
Well, she was the deathmatch queen, his king.
Well, it's There's
wrestling, baby.
It's wrestling. What are you going to do? So Matt Cardona is back. Number one. I am happy to see Matt Cardona back. He is great. Oh yeah. He had the cinder block as a gift. Yes. Yeah, that was great. That was I don't know how you wrap part of a cinder block. That takes a lot.
Well, you have to put it in your registry.
Well, that and that's something, he probably went to J.C. Penney for. I don't think Amazon's going to do that for you.
Nah.
I'm just saying.
You got to go to Penny's for those authentic center blocks.
Yeah.
Not generics.
Maybe Sears. No, wait. Did Sears close? I forget. I'm old. Gimbals. How about Gimbals? Boston Store? Anyone? Macy's? I'm
Wanamaker's?
I'm
Woolworth. Is that the Woolworth?
Woolworths? Oh God. The Dinah. Ben Franklin's. All right. So crazy complete episode of TNA. You had your crazy tag match. You had your world title match. You had some fun knockouts action and a wedding to boot. I mean, I don't think there's been like the most complete episode of TNA in a long time. Not that others are bad, but I mean, this had everything.
A little bit of everything.
Crazy. Mayor Neeson says Ace Hardware. I don't think Ace Hardware has a wedding registry. Last time I checked, I don't.
You can register anywhere.
Really? I mean, you can buy them like a store.
Can you register at our spread shop store?
Oh, there you go. That's a great place to shop. Household goods, clothing.
But hey, why register?
Drinkware.
When you can just get Manscaped using promo code TNI for 20% off and free shipping.
20% off and free shipping to make sure that your special day
is not an airy one.
It's not a every one.
See, if PCO and Steph just got their Manscaped going, it would have been much less of an affair.
Oh, could have. Could you imagine that bachelor party, all Manscaped stuff? Oof. That one, they might not want to put that one on social media. That one may want to stay private. All right. But your thoughts, Bill? What did you think overall? Did you enjoy the wedding? Was it one of your favorites? What did you think?
Oh, I enjoyed the wedding. I've been to a few weddings, and this was enjoyable. Definitely. I know someone said it earlier. It maybe wasn't as crazy as some of the other ones, but you got, I think, everything you need to tell with the story. So now we got to see the fallout, obviously, of where it goes, and it feels like we're going to get that big PCO Cardona feud. How quick are we getting it in Florida, like over TV, or is this going to be an emergence match? I think that's really what we're going to see, and how much is Cardona going to be part of the show going forward? Is he going to be a full-timer?
And is Steph going to stay by PCO's side, or is she going to betray him?
Which she didn't do tonight, which I know a lot of people thought could happen if Cardona showed up, that she would bail on PCO. But she didn't. This isn't Trent.
We're going to have to wait and see which wedding lasts longer. Oh, Jiminy Christmas. Trent, where are you? Damn it.
He'd be the one saying it.
Right. So, all right. That's going to be it for this one. Hopefully we'll have Alisha back next week. She took tonight off. Hopefully she's feeling better. And but yeah, we are on the road to Emergence. So sadly, no Bound for Glory news yet, but when we hear about it, we're probably going to go live and talk about it, because
there you go.
God knows the fans want to know. But
they want to know.
They want to know. But hey,
they want the truth. They can't handle the truth.
They can't handle it. Go to the website for all the other dates that are out there till the end of the year. The calendar is loaded, and should be a lot of fun. And no matter what happens, I think it's going to be a lot of fun stuff.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, and on your way out from this, make sure you check out all the links in the description. And like Bill said, check out. We don't plug the merch enough, but there's a merch sites down there. There's Pro Wrestling Tees plus a Spread Shop. Spread Shop has T-shirts, and along with mugs and all the household goods that you can get. The podcast artwork on and all that stuff. So go check that out. Check out the socials. Go follow us on there, and so that you know when we go live next. So on your way out, good question. John Palmer says, Tuesday thing going to be a regular thing for now. It kind of depends on what happens on NXT.
Yeah, if there's no TNA involvement in a week, probably not. But if Joe's a fixture, if the Rascalz, if there's more knockout stuff that starts happening, because that is what Tuesday is. It's a TNA NXT review, not the full show. It's just the TNA associated parts of the show.
Right.
And
we're not covering all of NXT. Just, Joe Hendry's on there. We'll talk about it. Like next week, part 2 of Great American Bash. Yeah, we're probably going to talk about it.
So next Tuesday, yes.
Joe Gacy and I don't know. We'll see. We'll find out. It's part 2, so there's got to be good, right?
There you go.
We'll find out what happens. So, but yeah. Smash that like button, smash that sub button on your way out, ring that bell for notifications. Why? So that you know when more of our content hits your screen. Take care. Much love. Good night.